Straight out the gate, I'll say it, the DJI Osmo Pocket is pretty amazing. It's a video, time-lapse and still image capture device, which is great for a lot of purposes, like filming your vacation, your kids, your pets, for vlogging, for filmmakers as a B or C cam, or shooting smooth, slow-motion B-roll. To be frank, it's just reassuring to have a capable device in your pocket at all times, should you need to film something fast. As a filmmaker and father, I use it quite a lot for all those aforementioned things. So without further ado, let's look at the camera's form and function to weigh up the pros and cons of this pocket rocket. The main reason I picked up the Osmo Pocket was for vlogging and capturing family moments. Yep, it really is pocket sized and it works okay as is. I took it on holiday as soon as I got it and got decent results. The only addition was a set of cheap magnetic ND filters, which are like sunglasses for your camera, and they attach directly to the lens here. Simple. The size of the camera's screen is very small, and when used on its own without a smartphone, you will need to use its touch screen controls to set up the camera or put it in auto mode. The other slight downside is that in record mode, you cannot see the entire recorded area during filming. You can, however, see it during playback mode when the device adds black bars top and bottom to show the 16:9 recording on the 1:1 screen. To control the tilt, you can do so on screen, but if your kitten ticklers are much bigger than mine, you might just struggle, unless you attach the camera to your phone or upgrade to this clever little controller wheel. But for the time being, let's just focus on using the camera without a mobile phone. Now the touchscreen allows you to configure all the main features so you can adjust the camera prior to recording, like the recording type, video, photo or time-lapse, as well as camera settings such as white balance, shutter speed and resolution. Now during recording, you can touch the screen to set a focus point or tilt the gimbaled camera up or down. But more on focus in a bit. Speaking of that gimbal, it's probably the biggest thing to get your head around. Well, it was for me anyway. And when it's on, remember kids, don't touch it.
Don't film me.
So the gimbal is really cool and it does make your footage very steady. Just set it up in the appropriate mode for what you're going to shoot. In follow mode, the camera will follow you around with a green box around you, keeping focus using the pan and tilt mode. This is useful if a subject's moving about. Just lock on and let the Osmo Pocket do its thing. In FPV mode, the camera will use the pan, tilt and roll axis to follow. And in tilt lock mode, the camera will only use the pan axis. For me, FPV mode is my go-to mode. With either the additional controller wheel or an old iPhone, I can set my focus and control the camera with ease. The camera uses phase detect autofocus, which means when it's locked on at a distance or subject, it's going to hold on tenaciously. The AF function has been much improved since the camera's release some 16 months ago, so it's great to see the camera's functionality get better with these impressive firmware upgrades. One thing to keep in mind when shooting with the Osmo Pocket is it's a fixed lens camera, so it won't zoom in. If you need to work around this, your best bet is to film in 4K mode and edit in 1080p, thus giving you 4 times the amount of resolution to crop in. Now a few vloggers have moaned about the field of view on the Osmo. It's 80 degrees, which at arm's length gives you this. Or for those camera peeps out there, it's a 26mm equivalent. Now if that's not wide enough for you, you can buy an additional wide-angled lens, which like the ND filters, just attach magnetically to the Osmo's lens. With this lens from Henchon, you get this, which is a 15mm equivalent. That's pretty wide. I'm unaware of wide-angled lenses being able to use ND as well, so getting wide angles on sunny days will mean you'll need to whack up the shutter speed to keep your image exposed correctly. But what about low light? Well, having a small sensor of about 6mm by 4mm, this camera needs a decent amount of light to make nice looking images. So if you film above ISO 800, the camera is going to give you this. So for the nicest looking images, keep the camera under ISO 400 and give your subjects lots of light, so you get nice images like this. On the subject of noise, the camera can do 120 frames per second in 1080p mode. Although it's worth noting that the camera does crop in significantly in this mode, giving you an even narrower field of view. And you really will need bright light to expose properly at 120 frames per second. At this point in assessing the Osmo Pocket's full potential, we have to rig up the camera and need to add accessories and/or a mobile device. If you want better sound and add a microphone, it's tempting to go on Amazon or eBay and buy a cheap 3.5mm to USB-C adapter to fit in here. Don't. They don't work. I know, I bought several, they don't work. The only mic adapter I found to work is the DJI branded one at £50. And if you have bought a non-branded adapter and it works, please let me know in the comments below. That would be awesome. So if you want to vlog or use the Osmo Pocket for little interviews, you'll need this audio adapter. Of course, you'll need a mic too. If you want a small budget mic that's decent, I can thoroughly recommend the Rode Video Micro. It's currently $37.99 on Amazon, down from $59.99. Bargain. Now this is all well and good, however, there is no way to monitor the audio from your external mic. The input levels can be altered easily in the DJI Mimo app, which runs on your mobile. And when the DJI audio adapter is detected, an on-screen icon will let you know it's plugged in. So, for my sanity, I like to record a test clip and check the levels before any important recording session. Okay, Adam, I hear you say, I bought a mic, where am I going to mount it? See, this is where a cheap £329 camera just got a bit more expensive. NDs, £30, check. Coming to a grand total of £288. Now what you have to consider is that all these accessories give you more flexibility than any camera of that combined value, about £620. And especially if weight and size are a priority to you, this is still about the best option on the market. This diminutive camera has been such good fun, and despite the additional cost of the other bits, has been exponentially worth it to grab shots on the go, capture behind the scenes footage and make tutorials. In one particular shoot, I rigged the Osmo Pocket up as an emergency camera, primarily to grab audio from a bunch of presenters who at the last minute I found out didn't have mics on. And on a full charge, this device filmed a full 90-minute presentation in 4K mode. Yep, the built-in battery lasts a decent amount of time, at least over 90 minutes, and it charges in about an hour and 13 minutes, either from the mains or a USB battery. So, do I like the DJI Osmo Pocket? In a word, yes. There's things I'd like to see in a version 2, of course. I actually think DJI should make it a tad bigger, like 20% or so, or more radically change the form factor to something like the Panasonic pistol grip style cameras from the early 2010s, except with a little gimbal on top. A flat design with a fold out screen would ensure it still fitted in your pocket, but would have more space for a bigger battery, a mic jack and a mounting point for a tripod and an external mic. It would just be like a fatter mobile phone. DJI clearly love this camera. They've continued to improve it via firmware updates, and you know what? I love it too, because for the most part it does everything it sets out to do very well, considering its size and price point. If you're interested in buying a DJI Osmo and want to support this channel, please use the affiliate link in the description below to purchase this or any of the kit I've reviewed. That would be so appreciated, because this channel at the moment is not monetized and I'm keen as chips to dedicate more time to make more content just for you. Well, that's it for this one. I'm Adam Loretz from the Filmmakers Workshop. Until next time, enjoy your filmmaking and thanks for watching. Bye.